what do you like to do? The question is for the singers, songwriters, right? Do you like to really write songs or you want everybody to sing your songs? Because if you like to write songs, maybe they don't sing your songs because you are really writing them. But if you want to write songs that everybody sings, then actually you are not writing your songs. You are writing songs for everybody to sing.
In this noisy world, if noisy is the metaphor we're using,
exactly.
Then how loud do you want to be is the question.
The fact that you're asking yourself the question, I think that's the important thing. What questions do we ask ourselves when we do what we do?
Hey there, and welcome to Taiwan Talk, where we share the stories of people living in Taiwan. I'm Trevor Tortomasi, and joining me in the studio today is Martin Musa, otherwise known as Musa or Ming Ma Ding. Musa is a veteran music producer from Argentina, living and working with some of Taiwan's best musicians and making his own stuff as well. Martin, welcome to the show.
Thank you so very much. Gracias. Sí.
Okay, awesome.
I don't know
I guess I'll just call you Musa.
Sí.
Okay, sí.
That's how they call me in my neighborhood. So,
okay,
yeah.
And this interview will be in Espanol.
And nobody will understand.
Oh, no, okay. It's in English. So let's talk about really quick what you've done in Taiwan, because I know you've worked with a lot of artists that people might recognize the names of.
I'm very grateful. So I had opportunities. I worked with or for Aling, Amei, Lu Guangzong. I did a song with Musa from Uyetian, ABAO, Matska, Lara.
You've also worked with a ton of indie bands, and you worked with indigenous Taiwanese bands as well.
Yeah. To be honest, that's one of the most rewarding personally things that I've done. Always really great to work with the local native communities of Taiwan because there is a similar understanding towards music that the one I grew up with. Let's put it like that. What music means and what it is. So I really feel at home.
So I've seen you perform piano, which is amazing, but also as a producer, you're also arranging, you're putting together all this music. So when you say you've worked with a lot of these people, you've probably performed, but what else are you doing? What else is in your work that people might not know about?
Sometimes it's just like 30 songs, learn the songs, play the songs, done, right? Sometimes it goes like 30 songs, learn the songs, let's make something with the songs. You can change a little bit, you can just play around, let's try to make something at the rehearsal. That's performance, right? Sometimes there is like, okay, I wrote this demo and then I want to make it into a song. So what can we do? The last case like that, it was like Sandy, and she wrote a song using this AI version of herself. So the sound, it sounds like if she's 20 again, singing with that young age voice.
20 from what is she now?
53.
Okay. I didn't even know the voice would change that much.
It changes. It changes the range also. So then she sent that to me before I even know it was an AI. So that's another job, right?
Did they trick you?
Of course. And I fail. I fail because you really cannot tell. Then the last type of thing is not work, but it also is one of the things that I do, which is my own music that I write myself for myself. So all these different things that are around that I do in 3 areas: player, arranger, producer, composer, producer, like that. I don't like the word producer that much.
So out of all these things that you've made, you've performed, what piece of work are you most proud of so far? Or if you don't want to pick one, like pick a favorite or anything, then what would you recommend first?
I really like my last album that is called On. On, because it's an electronic music album,
okay, nice.
Right? So, and every song is about something. So it's on freedom, on love, on family, on friendship, and on dying, or many things like that. Then I really like my second album, which is called All Kinds of Good. With the music that I do, like it's personal. It's very personal.
But you make this personal work knowing that you are going to share it with the world too.
That's true. But I try to be sincere. Even if I'm embarrassed about something, just open up as much as possible. It's very hard to be present in the music that you're making because there is a lot of social pressure from all the social media. So then everything that you do, that we do in general, it has a lot of elements that are outside of ourselves. that will affect what you're doing. So it's very complicated to be sincere because you are already being affected unconsciously by the fact that you are being observed.
Right. Well, let's talk about promotion in general, because I've heard a lot of people say, and it seems like this is more and more true, is it's almost not enough to just be really, really good anymore, really, really sincere, because you can write the best book in the world and then it sits on a shelf and no one reads it because you don't know how to say, hey, world, like, in this noisy world, pay attention to me. So you have a lot of people getting brand deals and they'll get sponsorship and stuff. But then you've mentioned before, you have like hip hop stars selling makeup and you have podcasters selling mattresses.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, all the time. In this noisy world, how do you think people should go about getting themselves noticed without becoming insincere?
Okay. Wow.
If we knew the answer, we'd solve everything.
Wow.
But we don't know the answer. Yeah.
Wow. It's like having to fight Mike Tyson, that question. You have a sustainability problem, meaning you have to sustain yourself. You don't want to die, right?
So you got to get money for food. Yes,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Food. But then again, the problem is that maybe you also want like a Ferrari, right? Or you want people to look at you inside a Ferrari. So then you have a problem, because you understand, from going from an AT&T Pientan, right, to a Ferrari, there is a range. Yes, you need to manage yourself within that range, I think. And then again, what do you like to do? The question is for the singers, songwriters, right? Do you like to really write songs, or you want everybody to sing your songs? Because if you like to write songs, maybe they don't sing your songs because you are really writing them. But if you want to write songs that everybody sings, then actually you are not writing your songs. You are writing songs for everybody to sing.
In this noisy world, if noisy is the metaphor we're using,
exactly,
then how loud do you want to be is the question.
Precisely. Or if you want to get, because you want to add to the noise. The problem is that how much of it can you avoid? It's a really noisy world. I'm making noise at this moment. You invited me because I made noise before.
We're making noise together right now.
Yes.
Yeah. And it comes with the responsibility of like, I want to put some good noise into this world.
Yeah, but my question is this. What's the smartest thing to do? How many artists that I know that I cannot talk about, but I could, but I won't, they don't like what they do. They hate what they do. And they hate the fans that love what they did that they don't like. So then, how is that different of working in a 7-Eleven for 1 million hours? The money, that's the difference. So my question, going back to the question about marketing, it's very important to go back to face yourself and really understand what you want and what you need. If you need to be famous, if you want to have an expensive car and an expensive watch, you will go in that direction. If you want to really write something profound and real, then that would be your direction. And you will never get, probably, the watch and the car or whatever else. But what I'm saying is that the fact that you're asking yourself the question, I think that's the important thing. What questions do we ask ourselves when we do what we do? And then you live the life that you can live, between all these things. You're always dancing with it.
Yeah, there's not always an easy answer. Artificial intelligence is everywhere. Everyone's talking about it all the time.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've used it for some text-based things, and it's been super helpful.
Yeah.
We can probably all agree that it feels more meaningful sometimes when a human makes something from start to finish.
Yeah.
But the question is not so much whether AI is going to be used. It's about how we're going to use it.
Yeah.
And so you mentioned earlier that you were using AI in music without your knowledge.
But
how do you feel about using it more in the future? Do you think you'll ever use it?
This is an old conversation for me because I've been using this for about 2 years already. Right? There are some softwares, the AI software, that will help you to mix and master songs. You put all the tracks in 0, right? Mm-hmm. And then you click kind of the style of the music, or maybe you can set up a track as reference for the music to analyze, right? And then the computer itself will mix your track and it sounds pretty okay. So in my case, this helps me spend time with my son. I can go to the beach because the machine already did it. I uploaded, I send it, and it sounds good enough. Right now, I have to be honest, I don't think it sounds good enough to release it, those mixes or those mastering things. Right now, you need an engineer.
But you're, like you said before, you're asking yourself, it's about the questions you ask yourself.
Yeah.
And you're asking yourself, like, what is really important at the end of the day?
Yeah.
Can I use an AI to get this done faster so I can play with my kid?
Yeah.
Yes. And that's fine.
Done. I think the AI is going to be like this. The problem is that because we are doing this, AI is perfect for mass producing music that sounds like all the things that we had. AI thing, I think, is like the end point, the wall. And we are going to be regurgitating from what happened before. I don't know if there will be really a future music that is really different than what we have now, because of the business and everything else.
It's kind of like the people who are looking and analyzing the algorithm of like, which video did I make that succeeds today, or which song did I make that succeeds today, and they analyze the algorithm of how other people have succeeded, and then they base their new work on that algorithm.
And
they're not making anything new.
Exactly.
They're just basing on something that already happened. So the only way forward is to make your own stuff too.
Yeah,
we can't rely on robots for that.
The cultural problem is that if it's for money, if there is a profit incentive for culture, then necessarily is insincere. So either I tell you my story because I'm dying to take this out of my heart, or I'm telling you this story because I'm dying to take money from your pocket. So necessarily now we are living in a time where all the motivations, it seems in general that the mainstream and the indie motivations go in that direction.
Well, on that note, and for the world, or for Taiwan more specifically for now, what kinds of music, stories, or art do you think we need to hear more of from Taiwan?
A lot of bands that do great, and they fly to Europe or Japan, and they play for Japanese or they play for Europeans, not from diaspora, expats from here or from other Asian countries, right? No. They play for local audiences. Elephant Gym, Flesh Chooser, there are many bands, right?
Sure.
They fly out and they will play for all these people, right? From people from all those countries, but they have absolutely no support in promoting this sound. A lot of local bands are doing outstanding work, more and more, with their own resources, and I think that needs support to be known worldwide. For example, just put the money and send Matska to tour all over Latin America. He's a reggae artist. He will kill. Or send Matska to play at reggae festivals in Europe and in Feizhou, like in Africa and in Central America. Send the guy to represent Taiwan and sing his songs in Western countries. It's not that expensive for Taiwan. Send ABAO to sing. Get ABAO to be at the NPR Tiny Desk in New York City.
Yes, please.
Come on, dude.
Exactly.
What's going on? Like, this is easy. It's not complicated. You just put the money and get the person there. And then you don't need to do anything else, because the music will set the light on, like we will set the fire there. You know, you can do these things as a government. You can have this vision, because they don't need anything else. They just need chances.
There's one other thing that Taiwan does a lot, which I still don't know how to feel about, because I'm not pretending to know all the answers. It advertises everything that is from Taiwan as being from Taiwan. And while that's great, Taiwan needs a lot of attention. But if you go on like Taiwan Plus or something like that, everything there is about this is Taiwan style this is Taiwan style this. Sometimes I feel like, and that's great, all of that is great. I feel like we need more of, though, things that are just good. And also they are from Taiwan.
Ahí va. Exacto. Eso es lo que, that's exactly, you make me speak in Spanish. That's exactly what I'm saying. Because these bands that I just mentioned, they are just good. You give a bow, a microphone, anywhere, and it's just good. Doesn't matter where she's coming from. It will be great.
This happens with commercials too, when we're talking about the commercialism of stuff. If you're a hip-hop artist advertising the makeup, for instance, or something, what I see a lot of advertisers doing now, which is smart, is they just make something good. They make a funny video. They make a little skit, or they do a joke, or they report on the news. And also you look like, oh, this is funny. Who did this? And you look at the user, and the user is a brand. And you're like, wow. Okay, well, maybe I like this brand a little better, because they weren't trying to throw their brand name at me. They were just making something good. And then I'm like, oh, and I go out and check out the brand. Well, they just won. They beat all the other brands that try to like press their name in my face because they were just good. Taiwan's already doing it. I'm not saying Taiwan's bad. Taiwan's doing awesome stuff. But I think a lot of that stuff can stand on it just being good.
But that's exactly what I'm saying. The things that they're spending money to put and promote, They are not the good things. And the good things don't get promoted. My point with this, in a way, is the following. If you have to scream something, it means that it is not real. Yeah. So, for example, Lin Huaiming, Yumen, Cloudgate, Lin Huaiming. This thing started to kill 25, 30 years ago. You don't need to brag about it. I make you fly out of your seat. This will be an experience you will never forget. I don't need to even say it. I just do what I do. And you just enjoy it. Done. And there are many artists in Taiwan that I feel that are like this, that don't get opportunities. So that's the main point. And what you end up doing when you go Taiwan, like Taiwan Plus, you get 45 views. Because it's obvious what you're doing. But if you tell me your story, if you're doing urban music, you represent your own urbanity, your own city, I would like to hear that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's the thing. You represent yourself. This music, popular music, it's about the people. It's about representing who you are in the world. I have a voice. This is my voice. Hear me out. Legislate for me. Like, this music is so like this. Latin music from where I come from. Again, Black American music is like that. Because this is John Coltrane, Tupac, Kendrick Lamar. They go like that at it. Because it's like, I'm here. Hear me out. I'm a human being. Respect me as a human being. You take everything away from me, but you cannot take me away from me. This is who I am. So I'm talking to you like this. You understand? So you have to hear me. I'm singing to you like this. I'm rapping to you like this. These are my beats. This is who I am in the world. You understand? So what I would like to tell the local artists here is that they don't need to copy foreign things. They just need to go to who they are, back to themselves, and from that place, go out. And people, they will have an impact for sure.
Absolutely. Taiwan, stand up. Well, thank you, Musa, for coming in today.
Gracias.
Thank you so much for everything you've talked about, all the experiences you shared. And thanks to you, the listener. Surprise, you're still here. If you'd like to hear more from ICRT, you can listen to full-length episodes of Taiwan Talk wherever you normally find podcasts. And you can help us out by telling a friend. Do it.
Yeah.
Do it. Anyway, that's it for this episode of Taiwan Talk. Until next time, I'm Trevor Tortomasi. This is Musa on ICRT FM 100. If you'd like to hear more from ICRT, you can check out our other podcasts. We've got Taiwan This Week, a roundup of the news in Taiwan every Friday. English in the News, for useful English expressions explained in Chinese, and EZ News, spelled with the letters E and Z, for simplified daily news. For some lighter news in both English and Chinese, check out News Bites and News for Kids. And if you enjoy them, tell a friend. Thanks for listening.